Oregon is in the middle of a historic wildfire emergency, and conditions near Mount Hood remain serious. This is the worst wildfire season Oregon has ever recorded, and we are still weeks from the season's end. More than 2 million acres have burned across Oregon this summer alone, a number that breaks every record. The Grasshopper Fire has burned over 54,000 acres east of Government Camp in the Mount Hood National Forest. As of this morning, it is only 23% contained, and gusty winds through the Columbia River Gorge are not helping. Here's everything you need to know. As of Sunday, the 9th of August, 2026, I'm going to break this down region by region. The fires, the weather, and what it means for you. Oregon broke that record in early August 2026, with roughly 2 months of fire season still remaining. As of this morning's National Situation Report, large fires across the Pacific Northwest have burned 2,629,170 acres. That covers Oregon, Washington, and Idaho combined. 18,128 personnel are deployed across the region right now. Now, let's talk about the Grasshopper Fire specifically. This is the fire with the most direct impact on communities right now. According to this morning's IMSR report, the fire stands at exactly 54,223 acres with 23% containment. It added 4,578 acres in the past 24 hours. That growth rate is significant and is not letting up. The fire started July 23rd after a series of lightning storms hit the Mount Hood National Forest in Wasco County. It ignited north of Forest Road, 4,812, west of Rocky, but quickly spread driven by hot, dry conditions. Fire behavior as of today is described as active with flanking uphill runs and short-range spotting ongoing. Spotting is when burning embers get carried ahead of the fire and start new ignitions beyond the main fire line. It's one of the most dangerous behaviors firefighters deal with because it jumps control lines without warning. Earlier this week, a slopover where fire crossed a control line occurred near Forest Road 2720. A separate flare-up developed near Flag Point, pushing toward Bennett Pass on the northwest edge of the fire. Crews managed to secure that flare-up, but the fire has since moved into the Lookout Mountain area and continues west. Highway 35 remains open to traffic as of this morning. Crews are working actively to maintain that corridor. Hand crews and bulldozers are building suppression lines along Forest Roads 45 and 50, just east of the highway. Now, let's talk about the weather pattern driving this fire, because this is critical to understand the situation. According to the National Weather Service Portland area, forecast discussion issued yesterday afternoon, August 8th. The region is seeing west to northwest winds at the surface with warm and dry conditions continuing through next week. NWS Portland states winds will be from the west-northwest around 15 miles per hour or weaker across most areas. However, the Columbia River Gorge and Upper Hood River Valley are the exception, and that matters for this fire. NWS Portland forecast gap, winds gusting approaching 35 millibars in the Central Gorge with a 20-30% chance of gusts over 40 millibars. The NWS specifically notes combined with low relative humidity and dry fuels, these conditions would be favorable for rapid fire spread. That language is directly from the NWS Portland official forecast. That's not editorializing, that's their assessment. NWS Pendleton issued a red flag warning on Saturday, valid for the Central Gorge and eastern Hood River County. That warning covered wind and low relative humidity, gusts up to 35 millibars, RH as low as 12% in the Columbia Basin. The warning was valid through 11 p.m. Saturday evening. As of this Sunday morning, check weather.gov for current alerts. Looking ahead, NWS Portland's forecast through Friday shows continued westerly flow and warm, dry conditions. Temperatures near the fire area are forecast in the mid-80s to low 90s through the coming week. No significant precipitation is in the NWS Portland 7-day forecast for the Mount Hood area. Fuels remain critically dry. NWS Portland also notes a possible weak trough around Thursday, but expects it to be dry with no rain. The bottom line from NWS, warm, dry, and breezy, especially in the gorge, for the foreseeable future. Now, let's talk evacuations. This is the most important part of this video if you live in the affected area. Level 3, go now. Evacuation orders are currently in effect for portions of Hood River and Wasco counties. If you are in a Level 3 zone, leave immediately. Do not wait. Go now before fire conditions change. Mount Hood. Meadows Ski Resort in Hood River County is also under a Level 3 go now order and has evacuated. As of earlier this week, Clackamas County issued Level 1, be ready warnings for rhododendron and Government Camp. That Level 1 zone covers roughly 200 properties along the Mount Hood corridor. Check current status at your county's site. Level 1 means have your bag packed, medications ready, documents gathered, be ready to leave with minimal notice. One structure has been lost to the Grasshopper Fire as of this morning's IMSR report. 369 personnel are assigned. That's 35 crews, 77 engines, 3 helicopters on the ground. The fire has already cost $26.4 million to fight. The estimated full containment date in the IMSR is the 1st of October 2026. We're potentially looking at weeks more of this. Now, let's look at the broader fire picture across Oregon, because Grasshopper is not the only story this morning. The Big Grass Fire in the Vail BLM district, southeastern Oregon, is now at 4,185 acres, 500,000 acres. It is only 39% contained and grew by 62,069 acres in the past 24 hours. Active wind-driven fire behavior ongoing. Multiple structures are threatened. Evacuations are in effect, and the cost has reached $34.6 million. The Roe Creek Complex, 2 fires south of Fossil, Oregon, has burned 366,617 acres and is 79% contained. The complex has destroyed 32 structures and is the most expensive fire in Oregon this season at $55.9 million. The Hagen Fire near Pendleton and Umatilla County stands at 42,699 acres with only 11% containment. Evacuations in effect. The Paradise Fire in the Umatilla National Forest is at 2,927 acres with 0% containment. Early stage. Watch it. Some better news. The Hat Fire near Burns is now 99% contained. Coleman Creek Bench and Second Flat are 89% contained. Across Oregon, the scale of this season is genuinely historic. The state is within range of breaking its own new record. Oregon's fire season historically runs through late September. There is no significant rain in any current NWS forecast. That means conditions will remain elevated for weeks. Every ignition, natural or human caused, is a serious risk right now. Now, let's move to the Hillsborough incident from yesterday afternoon. This one is important for Portland area residents. At approximately 4:20 p.m. Saturday, emergency dispatchers received calls reporting a large column of black smoke. The smoke was rising from the WM Hillsborough landfill on Southwest Minter Bridge Road, a waste management facility. Crews from Hillsborough Fire and Rescue and Towton, Valley Fire and Rescue both responded to the scene. They found a fire burning inside the landfill, and flying embers had already jumped to a 40-acre field of cut grass nearby. That brush fire spread rapidly, driven by gusty winds. TVFNR described conditions as challenging. 2 homes in the fire's path were evacuated as a precaution. Crews established structure protection immediately. By 7:30 p.m., the landfill fire had been contained using 2 bulldozers. It had burned more than 1 acre of landfill material. The brush fire burned approximately 25 acres before forward progress was stopped later that evening. No structures were lost. 1 Hillsborough firefighter was assessed for minor injuries due to overexertion in the heat and treated at the scene. Southwest Minter Bridge Road was temporarily closed. A fire investigator is working to determine the cause of the landfill fire. This incident is a reminder that fire conditions are dangerous across all of Western Oregon, not only in the mountains. Washington County has had a high fire danger burn ban in effect since June 15th. This covers the entire county. Any spark from equipment, debris, or other sources can become a large incident in these dry, windy conditions. Now, let's talk about air quality, because the smoke from these fires is affecting a much wider area than the fire zones. Wildfire smoke from eastern Oregon has pushed west of the Cascades at times this week, affecting the Portland metro area. Check air.now.gov. That's the official EPA and NOAA air quality monitoring site for current AQI readings in your area. If the AQI is in the orange, red, or purple range, keep windows closed and limit your time outdoors. Sensitive groups, children, the elderly, and anyone with asthma or respiratory conditions should stay indoors when smoking. The Oregon DEEC has issued air quality advisories this week. Follow their guidance and the NWS smoke forecast for your area. All right, now let's go through the 5 most important things to do right now if you're in any affected area. Number 1, know your evacuation level. Go to your county sheriff's website or oregonsfree.oregon.gov right now. Level 1 means be ready. Level 2 means be set. Level 3 means go. Do not wait for a second notice. Number 2, if you're under level 1 or 2, have your go bag packed today. Medications, documents, charger, water, food for 72 hours, and everything your pets need. Put it by the door and be ready to leave immediately. Number 3, do not enter evacuated areas for any reason. Those zones are closed for public safety. Respect them. Number 4, stay off Highway 35 and Forest Service roads near the fire unless you have a reason to be there. Emergency vehicles need those roads clear at all times. A quick drive-by is not worth compromising firefighting. Access. Number 5, check on your neighbors, especially elderly residents or anyone who may need help evacuating quickly. For the most current evacuation information, go directly to the Hood River County and Wasco County Sheriff websites. For fire perimeter updates, encnb.w. Wildfire.gov has daily official updates on the Grasshopper Fire. For weather watches and warnings, go to weather.gov, specifically the NWS Portland and NWS Pendleton offices. The Watch Duty app is also a useful third-party tool for tracking evacuation zones in Oregon, but always verify with official sources. Let me be very clear about what we know and what we don't know, because accuracy matters in a situation like this. What we know, the fire is active, growing, and partially threatening communities west and northwest of its origin. What we know, NWS, forecast continued warm, dry, breezy conditions through next week with no precipitation in sight. What we know, gap winds in the Gorge and Hood River Valley can gust to 35 mph or higher through this period. What we don't know exactly how the fire will behave day to day, fire. Behavior depends on many variables simultaneously. Evacuation levels can change rapidly in either direction as fire behavior and containment progress shifts. That's why I strongly encourage everyone in the affected area to monitor official channels directly and continuously. Do not rely solely on social media, friends, or news headlines. Go to the primary sources for life safety decisions. Let me also mention the broader regional context from this morning's National Situation Report for those tracking the big picture. Nationally, 147 large fires are active across the United States, having burned over 3.6 million acres in total. The Northwest accounts for the majority 53 incidents, burning 2.6 million acres across the region. Washington State is also dealing with major fires. The Little Giant Fire in Okanogan, Wenatchee is at 97,539 acres. The Slahan Fire near Tanaska, Washington is showing extreme fire behavior, crowning and group torching. And in Oregon, the Wright Spring Fire in the Fremont Wine National Forest has been reported as a deadly incident. This is a regional emergency of significant scale. Not a single fire, but dozens of major incidents simultaneously. Resources are stretched. Response. Times may be longer than normal. Your personal preparedness matters more than ever. All right, here's a quick summary of where things stand. As of Sunday morning, the 9th of August, 2026, Grasshopper Fire, 54,223 acres, 23% contained. Active behavior, 1,369 personnel. October 1. Containment estimate. Level 3, go now. Evacuations, Hood River and Wasco counties. Level 1, be ready. Parts of Clackamas County corridor. Big Grass Fire, 504 with 385 acres. The largest fire in Oregon right now. 39% contained active fire behavior, 317 acres. 79% contained, 699 acres, 11% contained. Paradise, 0% contained. Warm, dry, breezy through next week. Gap wind gust to 35 mph in the Gorge. No rain in the 7-day forecast. And this is Hillsborough brush fire. 25 acres contained, no structures lost, 1 minor firefighter injury. Fire investigator, on scene. And Oregon's fire season record broken on August 3rd. The state has now burned more than 2 million acres in 2026. This is a developing situation. I'll have an updated video out as soon as there is significant new information to report. If you found this breakdown useful, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you get the next update immediately. And please share this video with anyone you know in the Hood River, Wasco, or Clackamas County areas right now. Accurate sourced information is one of the most important things we can share. During a wildfire emergency, please help spread it. All weather data from NWS Portland and NWS Pendleton. Fire data from IMSR, INEB, and Oregon State Fire Marshal. Brush fire information sourced from TVFNNR, KGW, KPTV, and KON official reporting. Links in the description. Below. Stay where there are. Know your zone, and please take care of each other out there. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, Oregon.